just want to pick it up from what you said earlier and what you just even mentioned, that I would really not, or some persons may not, agree with you on on tilting towards illiteracy. You mentioned that there is a high level of illiteracy in the northern region. It will seem as though those who were raising the flag, some persons will not agree that they are not, unaware of what they were doing, because they also voiced calling Russia for aid, calling Russia for help. So in terms of, how this, puts out the nation and what implication this will have on the sovereignty of the nation, what message do you think those who probably decided to sponsor this wanted to pass across, maybe to the government, maybe to the protesters, and also security agencies?
Well, for me, for me, from the inception of this protest, there has not been a clear demand. Some are talking about this first subsidy. There are certain issues that Nigerians want government to address because of the number of subsidy, floating of dollar, and increase in electricity tariff. Has been it has a direct effect on the economy and the livelihood. But most of the conveyor of the protest has been saying bad governance. That's not a clear demand from a democratically elected government. So if there is hike in price of goods, the economics, there is hardship in the land, there should be a clear picture or itemized request from the government. So for me, people that are raising the flag, even one of the protesters wrote that Russian government should come to their aid. And in clear terms, the Russian embassy came out to debunk any association with that. So for me, I I understand the fact that there are motive behind all this, but it's premature for any expert to come out and say this is the motive and these are the backers. It's only the security agencies that have adequate intelligence that can actually come out to the stand and say these are the motive of people that are behind this protest and this is what they intend to achieve at the end of the day. So for me, from my own end, I will just appeal to Nigerians to be law abiding and you know give peace a chance. Because if anybody come out to say these are their motives, it's still is an assumption, and you don't talk on security matters on assumption. You need to have your get your facts right before
Right.
you don't assume on security matters. And the only people that can come out with affirmative statements are the security agencies.
All right.
So, but from
So let's go back to something you said earlier, talking about the role of the social media at fueling some of the interference that we are seeing. You talked about citizens being responsible. I recall that some time ago the government wanted to manage, regulate the social media, its use, but we saw how non-governmental organizations, a lot of persons were speaking against it, saying that they were being gagged and their rights to freedom of expression was being infringed upon. So how can the government manage, the social media as it is in critical times as this?
well, the can you hear me?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Okay. In terms of what the government can do to manage social media, different countries, if you travel out of Nigeria, you realize that when you get to different countries, there are even some of your social media handles that you have limitation on things that you can actually use. And based on my own findings, majority of people that are at the forefront of clamoring for these protests on the social media, majority of them are not in Nigeria presently. Some even have dual citizen that if anything goes wrong, they have another country to move to. Now, from the end of the government has to do a lot in terms. And I know when they talk about legislation, a lot of people came out to say no, they want to inflict on their right and all that. So, but the government is still the one that will put in measures in place to regulate all these things. Because apart from what we see on the social media, the government has that control to actually regulate things from the back end and look at what people are, as in what is happening, from the intelligence angle. So for me, the government has that sole responsibility to see how they can regulate all these activities within the ambit of the law. So it's we Nigeria government sets the pace within the ambit of the law. So if um, reckless use of social media can create a national security issue, then the government can actually take measures to ensure that these things are regulated within the ambit of the law. There are a lot government can do from the back end. So
But do
if
the
there are a
people
lot government
trust the
can do, and
government to do what is necessary for them? Do the people trust the government that it's in their best interest that is looking at regulating social media? Recall, like we mentioned earlier, that this protest, the Department of the State Service, as well as other security agencies, had come out to say, guys, do not go ahead with this protest. We have seen that some persons want to hijack it. Yet they did not trust government enough to ensure that it's protected them. Even the measures put in place where the police had said, give us your names, your details, but they refused. So how do we ensure that the people and the government work hand in glove towards security of the country as it is?
now so I didn't get that last part. Can you come again, please?
How the people and the government can work together to ensure that to ensure our sovereignty and security as a country.
Now, if you look at other part of the world, a lot of crime syndicate have been brought down with the help of social media. And I will set an example. The case of Hush Puppy, one of the tools that were used to monitor his activity was the social media. So basically, the lot that the security agency can actually leverage on technological advancement to regulate what happened on our social media. Okay, because for me, I can only see a post. I can't actually identify the IP of that person posting that content. But I think from the security agency's end, with the help of technology, they can actually pinpoint where and when any information is coming from. So there is a lot that can be done from the end of the security agencies. And Nigerians, I think we need to be adequately informed um, as regards to what we do on social media. As the government still need to do more in sensitizing people on the use of social media, because you will see someone posting that someone lost someone and you see like 10,000 likes. Do you like the fact that that person died, or you, because people just see post and they write, they put like, they share, and they say I just share it now because I just saw it. But people need to be informed that you sharing a content or liking a content is as good as you approving that content.